Yeah, I'm happy to go first. Firstly, congratulations on the caller. So what was the first call like? What was the sort of overall reaction?
Well, thank you firstly. I don't know, I think it was just a overwhelming feeling, like obviously getting to play for your country is obviously a massive thing in any sport, but yeah, it was obviously a big dream of mine since I was a little kid, so yeah, probably overwhelming feeling.
And you spent some time in camp 12 months ago. How did that prepare you for this eventual moment when the call was going to come? Just, feeling confident about your game, feeling confident about this environment of, stepping up into the test arena?
Well, yeah, the camp last year obviously helped in my development. I was only in my first year in Super W, so yeah, that really helped. And then getting a second season in obviously helped even more and developed me more as a player. So, yeah.
17-year-old, balancing school, balancing life. How do you go about managing all that? What's the process right now when you're currently in camp and, potentially you're going to HSC? Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously, when we're not training, I'm always doing some sort of schoolwork or study to keep up.
I was going to say, what's the sort of reaction to, when you tell schoolmates that, hey, Friday night I'm just casually playing for my country, and that feeling of breaking the record to be, the youngest ever Australian to play 16-side test rugby for Australia. How's that sort of feel? How's that resonate?
Well, my friends at school really don't understand what rugby is, but yeah, it's obviously a surreal feeling getting to play for country, but yeah, being one of the youngest to do it is obviously a great feeling.
Caitlyn, can you just, when did you get told you would be playing this weekend?
So, quick story. My phone was actually broken the day we were meant to get calls around selection. So I didn't know if I was playing or not. And it wasn't until we were in the team meeting for the announcement when my name came up on the screen and yeah, just went straight into tears.
And did Jo pull you aside? Did anyone pull you aside, kind of explain why they made this decision?
No, not really.
No. And so you said the tears kind of came. What were your teammates? Did they get around you?
Yeah, all the girls got around me. Some of the other girls cried as well, which was really cute. But yeah, they all got around me.
Who were the ones who cried with you?
Maya, Stewart, and Piper, I think, were the main two.
Are they kind of the closest mates? I know you're a bit younger in the squad. Is it good to have some of the older girls get around you?
Yeah, it definitely is.
So you're going to have to look after have Shalom take on the responsibility this year round?
Pardon? Sorry.
I was going to say, you could not have a look after Wally or Wallamima this year round, having to just pass it off to Shalom, not have that people's marketing trying to take her away?
Oh yeah, definitely. Wallamina is probably the most stressful thing about the camps, I can't lie to you. All the girls are always trying to take it, so yeah, definitely grateful that I don't have to look after it at the moment.
And excitement for Friday night. Mentally, how are you preparing for that? It's obviously a big occasion.
Yeah, just preparing for it like I would any other game. Yeah, just obviously I've worked really hard over the past 2 years, and obviously the coaching staff seem to back me. So just sticking to my game and playing how I would.
I assume your parents were the first people you called to tell about it. What was their response?
Yeah, so I called them yesterday afternoon, and they were obviously over the moon for me, really excited. Didn't think that I'd be starting, but yeah, really excited for me.
Are they planning to come down?
Yeah, them and my my siblings as well are going to come down.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 younger siblings.
And are they sisters, brothers?
1 brother and 2 sisters.
Okay. And do they all play rugby as well, or?
They all played rugby at one point, but now it's just my brother and my little sister playing.
And when you got told, so what are you planning to bring to the game? Obviously, you've got a really good game sense and game knowledge, and your kicking accuracy. Is that something that you hope to really bring into the game against USA?
Yeah, obviously I'll bring my kicking game to the game, and then just using my game knowledge and using my vision and to look up and see where there's space and hopefully exploit it.
And it's a must-win game. You have to beat the USA to get into WXC1. Are you feeling a bit of pressure, or are you going in pretty light and just knowing you just got to get your job done?
Yeah, no pressure, just, feeling like we just got to stick to our game plan and get the job done.
You talk about those Wallaroos girls that are in the squad. Is there anyone in particular you go to advice during this sort of time? Is it maybe from like an Arabella or anyone like that?
Probably Maya Stewart.
And what does Maya teach you, or what are you sort of trying to learn off someone like Maya?
Maya, I don't know. Maya's just one of those people that just easy to talk to and can help out whenever. So probably more learning more off-field stuff from her than on-field at the moment.
Fair enough. And just on the USA, what's the sort of keys to shutting them down? What have you sort of looked at during review about really limiting their effectiveness?
Probably just working on getting off the line, getting up, just making our chop tackles, and then hopefully getting around them on the edge.
Friday night, what's the feeling within camp? Obviously, a must-win situation to get into that WXC competition. How are you feeling?
I think overall our team's pretty positive actually. I know like the score didn't reflect our last game, but we've taken a lot of positives out of that, and I'm sure we can transfer that into Friday's game against USA and come away with a win. Obviously, as you said, it is a must-win game, so that is the goal for this Friday.
How did you feel personally after that Canada game? There was a few execution errors, but the back row was really solid yourself, especially. Sore, probably, to be honest. We defended quite a lot, so I think it was a physical game. Canada brought a real physical game towards us, and also a fast-paced game. So we did have to work quite a bit, but that's the nature of the sport. It's rugby. You have to play that kind of game, eh? And moving back to the back row, you've been playing in the centres for the Rebels, going in the back row, and you played front row previously. Is there a position that you particularly prefer? Yeah, the one that gets me a jersey, to be honest. No, I quite enjoy playing in the back row. I think it's a balance of both playing in the backs and the physicality of the forwards. So a little bit of freedom also. So I think that's really where I get to play a lot more of my game. Do you feel like it gives you a bit of an edge when you play in the back row? You're obviously so strong over the ball when it comes to the ruck, and you can carry really well, but then you've got the knowledge as someone who plays in the back line. You can play some of those more fun moves, you can slot back in there when it's needed. Yeah, it's basically a cheat code, isn't it? So I get to play in the back row as a forward, and then also use all the knowledge that the backs have given me. Maybe I gave them some, not sure. But I think it's a great balance of both skill sets, and I think I really enjoy doing both actually. And coming up against the USA, they're a bit of a big side as well. Are you expecting that you'll be coming out pretty sore after this one as well? Yeah, probably 100%. You can't outright them. They ran a big physical game against the Black Ferns, regardless of the score. And I've played against them before. They don't take it too lightly, so they're not afraid to run it straight to you. That's for sure. But I guess that's why we have fast people like May Stewart and Georgia Freds. We just give it to them and they can run away.
Having that test match just come to Melbourne, what does that mean to you, just to be able to sort of run out for other home crowds? I mean, usually in the past we've played in Sydney and Brisbane and even in Perth in the past, but it hasn't really been the same level of test down there in Victoria.
Yeah, it's mental. I really like it actually, because we're so underrated in terms of rugby union. So for us to expose the sport in the state, I think it's really exciting, and a lot more people can get around it. Obviously, we have to compete against the AFL teams, but maybe they'll be able to see what rugby's about, and we'll be able to pull a lot more interest in this state. But I'm excited, obviously. I'm from Burn City, so I want everyone to get around it. I've been telling everyone here in camp, actually, that this is heaven. So they've been telling me, stop calling this place heaven. And I was like, it is heaven. You wait till you have a day off.
Because are you playing tour guide on the day off? Where's the spots you take them?
Sorry, what was that?
You play tour guide when you sort of show them the best parts of Melbourne, and where are you going to take them that day off?
Hosier Lane always goes pretty good with everyone. Everyone loves the graffiti art, but I said it's night time today for Wednesday night, so I said night marks, it will be banging, so they can do that. But you can also, if you want a bit of culture in you can head down south to the southeast suburbs. But I don't know, everywhere's good. You can't go wrong in Melbourne, honestly.
Good to know. And I mean, I was just looking at the squad, it's 17-year-old debutant. What is it like having someone who's literally still in school about to make her debut, and what do you sort of think of her temperament coming into the squad as a 16-year-old last year, and how she's grown?
Yeah, she's such a chill head, actually. So she brings a bit of calmness to us at the back, and she controls the game quite well at the back. So I'm sure we'll see that from her today. On Friday.
I guess last year's result against USA, you ran away with a game in Canada. How much confidence can you take out of that performance, or is it just two completely different sides time on time?
I don't think you can take the same team from last year. I guess you can take some points of how they are as individuals, but obviously they've got new coaching staff, and they've got our old coach, Sione, so I'm sure he'll spicing up their attacking game. But also, in saying that, we're also a different team. We've got a different kind of vibe into our team at the moment, and I think it's really exciting. So I think it'll be different from both ends of both teams, actually.
I mean, some girls, I think Laura was saying yesterday, Sioni's coached her for close to a decade. What's your relationship with Sione like, and what are these, is there any part of your game that he helped you out with?
I think we've worked well in the sense that he's allowed me to play to my strengths. So he's just actually given me freedom, but in saying that, we also have that here now at the moment. So I haven't really spent a lot of time with Siona as much as the Queensland Reds girls, obviously, but we have had some experience within the Wallaroos. So I'm sure they have a good attack plan coming up. So I'm sure we'll be able to put a greater defence team against him. So yeah, I'm not too sure actually.
Fair enough. And just last one from me. I think last we spoke, you said you've done everything except kind of line move course to go up and be lifted. Have you played it to get yourself a call? Is there a call this week that can get you finally lifted up?
I'll chalk up first, and then I don't know. We don't really have a call. But I think everyone just stay ready. I might ask someone to lift me up in the line out one time, and then we'll deal with the coaches later.
Caitlyn, I guess throwing a 17-year-old into a starting debut, what have you seen about her temperament and her maturity that makes you think she can step up to this level?
Yeah, so she's a player that's performed week in, week out at Super W. We've seen that. She's got such a good attacking game, and last week she kind of experienced the match day with us, and she kind of managed all that really well. And going into this game, the attacking threat that she gives us, and the kind of extra kind of kicking game she gives us, has given her opportunity to start.
I guess that game against Canada, they particularly got on top of you in that kids battle. How much is this response to that and the sort of looking to really control territory this week round against USA.
Yeah, the USA is a very different game for us and than what the Canada game was. So kind of the changes we've made has reflected that. Yes, Caitlyn does give us a little bit more length on her kicking game, but also the way we want to attack is something that we see Caitlyn being able to bring to the game.
I guess Samantha Wood starting. I mean, from debut last week, straight into the starting side this week. What was the sort of selection process when you're weighing up whether to play someone like her over Lane Morgan, who's been, one of those sort of regular starters in the side over the past 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, again, Sammy obviously got the opportunity to be in the matchday squad last week, and she took that opportunity. We felt really well, and the way she's trained, just feeling that at the moment she's moving that ball a little bit quicker away from the breakdown, and we want to be able to play a slightly quicker game against America.
Was it always a bit of a plan to play Caitlyn against the USA? Canada would obviously be a very tough introduction to Test rugby and then you've got the Black Ferns a week later. Was the USA something you were kind of targeting for her?
Yeah, look, we went with a little bit more experience against Canada. The people like Laurie, we wanted that experience on the field, and it was always in the back of our mind that this could be an opportunity for Caitlyn to get her start against the USA, providing, just getting that opportunity to experience a match day, to be in camp with us a little bit more. And she's just managed that all so well, and and she's been standout in Super W, so it was always in the back of our minds to look at her having an opportunity here.
Laurie on the bench, is that kind of a not a sail safe, but a bit of a backup in case the occasion might get to Caitlyn?
Yeah, Laurie being in the squad, she's a really good person around the squad, and that experience and the way she supports others, she's got a really important role.
And keeping a few of the other debutants from last week on the bench again, did you see enough from them that you thought that they did enough and the USA is another opportunity for them?
Yeah, most definitely. They took their opportunity. They came on, we thought, well, like that last 10-15 minutes, the way that they stuck at it and held Canada out, it showed some really good character, which is great to see from the squad.
Did you see anything from their game against the Black Ferns? Obviously, the Black Ferns kind of ran away with it. Same too with Canada. I know you can't kind of go in expecting anything, but does it give you a bit of confidence going into this game that if everything goes well, that you can put in the side can put in a really strong performance?
Yeah, I think the big focus this week has been on us. Kind of really focusing on the bits that we saw at the weekend that we can kind of develop and work on. There were some good positives at the weekend, but equally, there was areas of the game that we wanted to work on. So the focus has very much been on us. This is kind of going into our second week together. So that's been a big emphasis of let's focus on us and get our game plan right. And then obviously watching the USA, we know they've got some really strong individuals that play in the Prem in the UK that stand out over there. Obviously there's a player over here, so we kind of know their individuals and we know they've got some good players, so we're definitely not taking them lightly, but the big focus has been on us.
I guess, you mentioned a player, I think Charlie Kobe's played here for the Reds, but they've now got a coach who was in this system for the past years in Sione. How does that help? In terms of planning wise, when you had someone who had such a sort of insight into your side, how does it go about sort of just trying to plan what they're going to throw at you in terms of defensive wise, and how can that help them sort of game plan against you guys?
Yeah, we're obviously aware Sione's there, and the girls have got a lot of respect for him, and he's obviously coached the girls, some of our individuals, for a long time, but we've made changes as a squad in terms of how we attack and defend, so all we can do is control what we can, and so that's why we're just focusing on us, but very aware that he has got some good insights into the squad, as especially the individuals within it.
And just on Eva starting the playground, what do you think of that play, or how do you think of that play to get the best Eva turning up week in, week out? We saw how damaging she was, particularly in WXV last year, where she basically, she inspired Australia to victory, won Wallaroos Player of the Year. What's the sort of secret to getting the best out of that?
Eva's really stepped up in training, and she showed that yesterday in our physical day. When she gets ball in hand, she is really damaging, and we've had some good conversations, and she's very clear on what her focuses are going into this weekend, so I'm excited to see what she can do.
And obviously, I think winning here gets into WXV1. How much is have to go about just tempering that pressure and expectations and really keeping the focus internal about turning the game around from last week?
Yeah, you know, like we've said, the massive focus is on us, and actually we know that if we can kind of put right a few of those kind of execution errors and a little bit of where we went off game plan a little bit last week, if we can put that right, then we can control that, and that's the big focus for us.
On those execution issues, do you just put that down to just a little bit of rough, first test of the year, or are there little tweaks that you've made during the game plan just to sort of try and avoid that happening again?
Yeah, it's obviously, we know it was challenging coming into this. We're sort of an 8-day run into the first test, having not had a hit out beforehand, and that's not ideal going into a competition like Pac 4. So inevitably we were going to, there were going to be a few little errors like that. From an attack and defence perspective, the players have had a lot of information to take on board, so it was inevitable that there were going to be some errors, but the girls have responded so well this week to that. They've really reflected on the game hard, they've reviewed the game hard, and kind of we're excited to see how they can kind of implement those learnings into Friday night's game.